Good morning guys, and welcome to today's vlog. Today finds me by myself pretty much. Rachel's dropped me off this morning. It's been an early start. I have been in a human tumble dryer this morning at about 7 o'clock. I'll go more into that in a bit, but today's vlog is about a general walk and talk about future aspiration to the channel, what's going on with myself, what's going on with my sister, what's gone on, what's happening, etc, etc, and so on. So let's go and do this. I have got a warm caffeinated beverage that I procured from Costa, our favourite coffee chain, and what looks like, was that a Bournville? Bourbon. A Bourbon is like a large biscuit. In America you'd call that a cookie, but I shall chow down on that as we go. This is pretty much the spot where a good year ago I just turned around and said heck it, and went out and started vlogging and actually talking. Before that it was pretty much you set the camera up or video recorder, etc, whatever you're going to use, your phone, and you go around and it's a case of, oh, I'm not getting involved in that, I don't like the sound of my voice. But it's amazing what you can do in a year. And I think YouTube turned around and said it was my birthday the other day of my channel, so it's certainly been a year. It's been an active year, that's for sure. From, obviously, as you just know, we've just got back from a 3-week near on 18-night vacation to Orlando, which we vlogged. Thoroughly enjoyed that, so much so that, I mean, we are regular, what you call frequent virgins. We book with Virgin Holidays on a regular basis. We get a bit of a discount because of that. We arrived back in the UK at around 1:30 the afternoon on Thursday last week, so that's exactly a week ago today. And by midday of the Friday we had booked an identical holiday, same dates, same location, but 2023. So in between now and then there's a heck of a lot going on, but we'll be back in Orlando, leaving the UK on October the 1st 2023, which will be Disney's, the Magic Kingdom's 52nd birthday. Epcot's 41st. I don't know whether there's any other birthdays around that point, but it'll be fun again. Now, I said early hours of this morning, well, 7 o'clock, 6:45 is the time I had the appointment pre-check-in. I was in what I call a human tumble dryer. Actually, what I had this morning, I've been having ongoing issues with my nervous system. It's like it's all been tangled in a tree, causing me trouble with my back, my legs. Virtually at some point nearly 6 weeks ago, Orlando looked virtually impossible because I was almost paralysed because of it. But I had the MRI this morning in one of these machines, and no word of a lie, it is a really weird feeling. Not the actual going round, that's just more noise and a bit of warmth. I think it's worked off magnets or something. But the process of going in the tube part of it, it's like imagining yourself being a freshly bought Christmas tree and chucked into one of them machines that wraps up the Christmas tree. That's what it felt like. There's an old saying that one size fits all. Well, it certainly isn't the case with those, because it was a bit of a tight squeeze, that's for sure. What I am walking parallel next to is the Duchess course of Woburn golf courses. I don't know how many there is, there might be 3, 4 of them possibly. These are championship golf courses, PGA, etc. Weather wise it's certainly overcast, but the weather itself is seasonably unusual, should we say. There was a thunderstorm the tail end of the weekend, which I've captured. I'll probably put a clip in towards the end of the video of that. Had a little bit of spectacular lightning, a few large claps of thunder, and it was a bit of a torrential downpour for a moment, which reminded me of just coming back from America. it was that sort of weather, which you really don't expect in October time. I guess that's global warming for you. I've not got a clue what hole this is, but it just gives me a chance to get rid of my rubbish. There we go, doing me bit. It was kind of hard for me to talk about originally, but sometimes life can throw you a bit of a curveball, and that is very much the case with what is going on with my sister currently. We got back, as I said, from Florida last Thursday. Last Friday my sister was moved into a hospice in Milton Keynes. It's an end of life thing. It's really sad. She's 54, she's born in 68, yeah, 54. She had a brain tumour. They're pretty much living it out through one of the characters in EastEnders at the moment. She's going down with pretty much the same thing that my sister's going through, but she's obviously at the early stages, my sister's at the end. And yeah, I'll throw a clip in just from my sister's perspective. She has near enough all but lost her sight now. We've spoke to a doctor since, and they have assured us it's not, they can tell her when someone is in final days. Thankfully my sister is not in final days. She's like running on a parallel. She's not getting any better, not getting any worse for this period in time. We've just been looking out for the telltale signs of when things start to digress and things take a turn for the worse. So it's very, very hard. Sometimes when I'm vlogging I might not film myself. That's because at the back of my mind I've always got what's going on with family members, etc. Because basically, apart from Rachel, my wife, her family that I've got, my immediate family, I've got a niece and nephew in Canada from my sister, and it's just me mum and me mum's mum, me nan, that are left of our family. Apart from that, everyone else is gone. So things like that really do affect you, and it's one of the reasons why I'm here today. Decided to pick me sister some chestnuts, although they do look a bit small, but I'll carry on looking anyway. But yeah, I'll put a clip up of that. Just my sister, in her own words, it is a bit upsetting, but she wanted it as much as anything else. In between doing my vlogs and everything else, I've been taking the camera to my sister Deb and capturing memories in her own words, and that's something that you don't have to be a content creator to do. If you have a mobile phone, a camera, etc., go out there now and capture your loved ones. Capture that moment, capture their voice, capture their face, a smile on their face as they're talking to you, because you just don't know when that curveball, when crap hits you, and they'll never be here again. So just, it is that case of you have that opportunity.
Hi. So I'm coming live to you on the 22nd of October at Willen Hospice. Things have not progressed as much as symptoms have exasperated, so they've now accepted me into Willen. It's not technically end of life yet because I don't have all the symptoms, but I'm being cared for very well by a great team of doctors, volunteers, nurses. They are all absolutely fantastic. Total compassion, sympathy, they do anything for you, and they're there in a heartbeat. I couldn't ask for better. Obviously it's difficult with my eyesight now being depleted anymore. I know my baby brother's standing filming me, but can I make out anything?
Can you
apart
see
from
Robert?
it? I know that's my brother. I can't zone in on anything. I know he's obviously holding a camera, and I believe he's got a t-shirt and shorts on. I hope he's not naked. But that's about all I can see is shapes and colours. But it's nice, although we can only have a couple of people in the room, we managed to get around that, and there is a lovely scenic area outside that I'm sure at some point I'll be able to get in the wheelchair with the help of Rachel and Rob and get pushed out and be able to have my fresh air break. So yeah, a bit of a roller coaster at the moment, not knowing what the progression's going to be, how long the progression's going to be, because as I've said to Mum and Rob and that, not that they want to hear it, I'd rather I just go to sleep and don't wake up, because this isn't quality of life, although I know there's people worse off than me. I'm being a bit of a wimp at the minute, but it's been a long journey and I just want some peace now, and peace for my family not having to see me in this state all the time, because they're full of me being full of piss and vinegar, being a sarcastic little cow that carries on as normal, and I can't keep up the facade anymore. It's too hard, and it's too hard knowing that when my mum and my brother and my sister come to visit me, or my boy and my girl, Liberty and Jake, try to call me in Canada, I can't see them. And it's lovely to hear their voice and that's comforting, but not being able to see my babies or my family is heartbreaking.
Do you want me to stop?
No, you're okay. You're okay. Shouldn't be embarrassed to cry, eh?
No, cry as much as you want.
So yeah, so today's enterprise, my baby brother, who's always got loads of weird and wonderful things coming on, has just come back from vacation and brought some sweetie goodies that are freeze dried like astronauts would eat if they were in space. And I tried what was it called, Rob?
Laffy Taffy.
A Laffy Taffy, because I like Laffy Taffy. Chewy Taffy is what it normally is. I was like, yeah, let's try the banana flavour. And it is the weirdest sensation going. The banana taste, smell, definitely. The texture, crunchy like the inside of a honeycomb crunchy bar, was just weird. Weird, weird, weird. We've got other things, to try. But yeah, it's quite the experiment. I'm just waiting for me to start levitating in circles and floating up to the air, but I don't think that's going to happen yet. Mum might do a Mission Impossible bit with your sky suit on, yeah? Oh, what would we call ours?
What's that?
Not Mission Impossible. What would it be for me, you, Rachel, Mum?
I haven't got a clue, to be honest with you. We'll certainly make something up.
Yeah.
Go on, let Rachel come back.
So that's an orange Skittle. Weird?
Right, the taffy one I could handle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And the flavour to this was a nice orange flavour, but I can't get over the fact that it's crunchy.
Crunchy. It is like the inside of a crunchy or honeycomb.
No, I can't do that one. Well, I've done it, but yeah, that's weird. I can't get my head around the
I
Skittles.
think that's an orange flavoured marshmallow.
That is so bizarre. Great food. It's
Oh,
weird.
yeah, it looks the same. So that's a candy corn.
No, no, no. Telephone's not like that.
It's not chewy, is it?
No, that's weird. That's so wrong on so many levels.
That's to be something
So this is the view from Deb's room. You've got Willen Lake over there, and there's the wishing well for Willen Hospice at the front there. This is like a view deck area at the back of Willen Hospice, where Debs can sit and look out. So she's got the, what we used to call the Llama Island, which is in the foreground over there. I don't know if there's llamas there anymore, but there used to be, when the monks that had this temple to the right hand side used to keep live llamas on the island. There's your wishing well, people come make donations, and we've walked around this lake many a time. Never expected to actually be standing in here. Unfortunately, circumstances have led us to be here, and we're just sort of, I don't know, praying for extra time, I guess. I've got to the point now with the channel where it's at, I believe, 498 subscribers. Not that I ask for subscribers, I think when everybody starts off they do, they just get into it, but on the whole, probably for at least 7 or 8 months I just don't bother. Everybody knows how YouTube works. If they want to subscribe, feel free to do so. If not, and you just want to view it, that's up to you as well. It's going along quite smoothly. I just know that when I do hit the 500 mark, it opens up some sort of community tab, so I can do little chats, put pictures up, ask people's opinions. If I've got a choice of 2 or 3 vlogs that I might want to do that weekend, maybe it will be down to those guys there to do a vote, and I'll follow that line of YouTubing. But I'm happy with it, happy with my content. It's been going great. It's another string to my bow, so to speak. It's like a jack of all trades sort of things. I've been, like, on the other side, running Facebook groups for the best part of a decade, and I'm pretty big in that. And this is something that I'd like to close the boundary, the gap between the two. And so my group, the Florida Forum, I've been inviting guys to put their vlogs, their blogs, etc. out and try and grow a little community there. Because at the end of the day, if it can bring one moment of happiness to an individual, it's a job well done. There's a saying, as well as going jack of all trades is jack of all sports. Now, along with racing motocross back in the 80s, 90s, something happened recently, should we say, maybe a month ago. Paul Byrne, who runs the Luton Motocross Club, he's a club secretary and that, he was rummaging through some boxes, possibly in a garage or whatever. They got an awards evening coming up, and he found a trophy with my name on it from a championship back in, I believe it was 94, and I finished that season, I will finish 12th overall in the championship, which I've got a trophy to collect at some point, or he'll send it to me in a post. I'll probably meet up with him at a race meeting when I'm vlogging that, and he'll hand it over there. But yeah, it's strange to feel that there's that from history so long ago. 1993, 94 was a heck of a long time ago. But that meant at that time, I didn't even know I finished 12th. I know I was in the top 20. But that top 12 spot meant, with me at the time, I dropped from the 250s onto a 125, made me, because of where I live, I knew the other riders lived in other areas, made me the best 125cc motocross rider in Bletchley for sure, possibly Milton Keynes. Other people might dispute that, but the championship trophy says otherwise, so I can confirm with that one. And in the meantime, I've also I signed up just as I got back from Florida, gone back into football again. I'm too old to do proper full-on football now, but I've gone back into walking football, which I've always enjoyed. And I've done my FA registration, and I've joined Old Hams Athletic, a club with a lot of guys who are, they're all mostly Chelsea supporters, who have set up this football club in Milton Keynes for walking football. They have tournaments set up, they have a couple of friendlies. I think they're playing Dunstable and Bedford soon. I'm not available for them. My first game back after all my injuries and everything else, to try and start warming myself up. We'll be back at my old stomping ground, Leon School, on the 7th of November. Really looking forward to that. It'd be great to see the guys again. And yeah, shift a few pounds and back to having fun again. This weekend, probably Sunday, because I have a nephew's birthday party to go to on Saturday. He'll be 21. Jamie, my nephew, happy birthday. So Sunday we'll probably start off the weekend warrior, as I call myself. Basically, in vlogger terms, it's someone who's not a pro, not even a semi-pro. It's these guys like myself who go out after they finish their work at the weekend, go out and have a bit of fun, and love the whole process of YouTubing. So that's what I class myself as, a weekend warrior. And this weekend being Halloween, which is strange really, because the UK is starting to grow in Halloween. It never used to be a thing. Those from other parts of the world have their traditions. This is very much taken from America, and I absolutely love the Halloween period. For the UK, it was always Guy Fawkes night. That goes with a periodic moment in time where the only person with real intent in the Houses of Parliament, Guy Fawkes, went in and attempted to blow the place up, but the plot was foiled. He was hung, drawn and quartered. That was the end of him. But since then, we've always celebrated Guy Fawkes night, which is November the 5th. It's always I don't know, there's some groups out there, the guys that wear the mask, Guido or whatever, but it's remember the 5th of November. That's what Guy Fawkes is all about. So this weekend there is a Halloween, it's called Boo at the Zoo. It's nothing spectacular like you get at the likes of SeaWorld, Disney or Universal, but it's just a little event with the animals, with possibly pumpkins, etc. Maybe some artwork and being creative around those. So I go up there, probably vlog that, providing it's not chucking it down with rain. That's what you get in the UK at this time of year. Don't know about 10th tea, but I could do with a cup of tea. Quite parched now. Quite strange, it's sort of autumn, fast approaching winter. I sort of expected maybe the golfers would be more of a spring and summertime, but no, they seem to be out here having fun. We're certainly not alone in these woods, that's for sure. And we're not talking about the golfers that are the course parallel. There are things running around. Well, now obviously in the UK you're not talking about things such as a bear squatch, which is a cross between a bear and a Sasquatch, or a mountain lion, or a wolf or a bear or anything generally like that. It's probably likely to be a monk jack deer, or maybe some squirrels. Last time I was up here I see the devil squirrel, which is like a normal squirrel, slightly bigger, all black in colour, and it will rip your arms off if you don't feed it. Okay, that's a lie, it won't do that, but it is a curious animal, that's for sure. Most of the chestnuts appear to be small again. How we go about picking them is we just find the shell bit, roll it with your trainer, and then the nuts basically pop out of it. You don't want to pick them up because them little prickles get in your fingers and your fingers get sore in next to no time. But they are small again this year. It's surprising, what with temperatures of over 100 and long summers, they usually stay up in the trees a bit longer and your harvest is a lot better. But I do have, I think there's about maybe 20 or so in there, reasonably small, but it's a token gesture for my sister, more the smell than anything else. I'll cook them up later and take them over to her. you imagine living out here? I don't know if it'd be actually quite eerie or scary. Obviously there's a little cottage there to the left, which is secluded, out by itself, nothing else around it. Don't know whether I fancy it or not. It's more a fact if an emergency happened, you're pretty much miles from anywhere. But I guess some people like the seclusion. Here's an interesting one for you. Have any of you guys ever had an epiphany or a thought that something's going to happen that's going to be good? Obviously you can't choose the cards you're dealt with in a situation with my sister, or bad luck, etc., but also there must also be good luck. Now in Florida and in times in the past, I've always thought, yeah, my luck's going to be in one day. And I have had a reoccurring dream, if that's the way you want to put it, and that's why I've purchased more lottery tickets, that I'm going to win. It's actually a specific amount. I keep dreaming the amount of £6.639 million. Now back in the day that would have been near on $12 million, but the price of the pound against the dollar being roughly the same now, you can turn around and say it's the same amount in dollars as it is in pounds. But it just seems weird that it's reoccurring. Now I had an old friend I used to go to football with years ago. He had a reoccurring dream like that he was always going to win big, and he won £1 million. So it is possible, it really is possible. Watch this. Eerily quiet. Looks if this is specifically your best spot. Where the cottage is, there is a plethora of chestnuts around here, all at a decent size. So what's coming up on the channel? Pretty much more of the regular content you'll see. If I find a location that's abandoned, not saying houses, I don't do them, it's like abandoned churches and graveyards, the spooky supernatural type of thing. I've done a few of them in the past, if you've seen them in the vlogs. I have a few on my bucket list, should we say. At some point I want to vlog the hanging monkey. It's like an old I think it's an old lime kiln warehouse type thing, which is adjacent to the canal somewhere down towards, I think it's Watford area. It's past Watford, maybe Rickmansworth area. That's definitely on my list. I've always wanted to find, and that might mean travelling somewhere throughout the country to find it, the elusive, they are about car graveyards in a wood, where you'll just find a load of abandoned old cars, not brand new stolen sort of things, your old cars that have just been knackered and rusted and fallen into disrepair and everything's grown through it. I just like that sort of thing. Not that I'd be going around snooping in boots and whatever and finding dead bodies in them, but yeah, that sort of thing appeals to me. Theme parks in the UK, if I get the chance to go to them, we're sort of out of season now, but there's, I don't know if you remember last year, we was doing a lot of going backwards and forwards to London, so there's things like the Stranger Things experience, there is a Jurassic World experience, which would be, I've seen clips of it, and the behind the scene bits are very, very similar to what you would see in the queuing area of Velocicoaster in Universal Orlando, so that could be worth a look at, as well as a few more museums in that area which are interactive. I believe the Natural History Museum has an earthquake experience where you stand in a room when it shakes, and it's that sort of thing, just sort of people might decide to watch because they could see there is something potentially for them and their family to do, so that could be worth it. Of course there's my love of motorsport, so anything motocross when the season comes back round again, plus you've got Santa Pod, absolutely loved vlogging that, and I've very much got into that cosplay. You get Comic Cons, interviewing the guys there and walking around generally, people having a great time, so that is definitely on the list as well. So there's all that to look forward to, plus anything quirky. I like the quirky and unusual. So it's things like when the time comes around to it, you get the things like Morris dancers in this country. That could be worth a look. It's always a laugh, so keep your eyes peeled for those. I said we wasn't alone, didn't I? That little fella there. Focusing on him. He'll scarp her any second now. There you go. Off you go. Quick. We'll always pay homage to this particular spot and this trail leading off down here. I've said the story before about the beast that was a beast of Bedfordshire, beast of Milton Keynes, whatever, like a black cat type creature. Now supposedly my dad come across it in this very area a good quarter of a century ago, just doing what I've been doing now. I think it might have been earlier in the year, maybe a little bit, a month or so earlier than now. He was up here like I am, chestnut picking, and in this thicket area that's around us, there used to be a barn around here somewhere, a brick built barn. I only know that from that little pond back there, which is basically where I get my landmark ideas of where we are from, because this is an area that we used to frequent for donkey's years, before it was even a golf course. Anyway, he was around this area, and he said he come out of the thicket area and just past the brick barn area, which would have been around here, a creature, he said it was sort of Bringle in appearance, but he says it was tigerish. Now, I don't know, could it have been a reflection of the sun? A big dog that's been out for a walk has just come out of the bushes and your mind sees something? Who knows? But I'm not gonna cast doubt on anything that my father said all them years ago, because this place brings back great memories, and it's a story that will go on for ever and a day. I know there's stories of throughout this country, probably throughout the world, of creatures in the woods. I know you've got Bigfoot, etc. in America stroke Canada, and here throughout the western part of the country, even the eastern part of the country, you get predominantly big cat stories. Now, where we are, this is adjacent to the Woburn Golf Course. Now you've got Woburn Safari Park. Now Woburn Safari Park is home to lions, tigers, panthers, etc. There's no reason why one of those couldn't have got out and survived on carrion, which is like your car crash roadkill type thing, but I would not thought it would have lived this amount of time. But it does make an interesting point of conversation for sure. Anyway guys, I think that is enough waffling from me for today. Thank you very much for listening, watching, etc. I'm going to put a little bit of footage of the storm that was over our neighbourhood when we come back over the weekend from America. The storm was very much Florida-ish in its rain amount. A bit of thunder and a bit of lightning, which I quite enjoyed. I love them sort of things. It was said so much but said so little at all. Thank you for your thoughts about my sister. I've had a few comments on Facebook regarding when I've put posts up about my sister, etc. It is a hard time and a hard thing to go through. As a family, we pull strong together, what is left of us. Your thoughts mean a heck of a lot. I know she appreciates that, and I know she wanted me to release this little bit of footage there, just to turn around and say there are people in the real world involved with YouTube, etc., that are suffering. Not everything's a bed of roses. But anyhow, I've got probably 10 to 14 days now to wait for my results from my MRI this morning, and then we'll take that up from there and find out what we've got. Hopefully nothing at all. You just do not know nowadays. Don't take anything for granted. And with that, be safe guys. There will be a vlog at the weekend. As I said, I've got a birthday party Saturday, so the vlog will probably come Sunday, and all my vlogs are near as damn it same day uploads. I try to limit the editing. I don't add musical features to it. It's not me. It's just those that I follow and use their techniques. Mine's very much that sort of style. It's as it happens, get it done, put it out there, move on to the next one. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you guys in the movies. Bye for now. Good job I know where I'm going. You'd easily get lost in this place. The sky is angry. Of course, this ain't a patch on a Florida storm, but it's a good welcome home, I guess. That is lashing down. That was faulty. Yeah, that's a real close storm. think that will do it for that anyway.